Welcome to Trade Doc, Theta Options Trader. We'll recap today's close, look at the futures, scan our ETF watch list, a spot opportunity. Today is expiration Friday, February 3rd, 2017, about 9 p.m. And the markets, they closed all green. It's the best performance of the year, with the Dow back up over 20,000. It kind of peaked up at 20,081. S&P was up 0.75%. The Russell led the way up with 1.5%, and the Nasdaq was up 0.5%. Looking at the futures, the majors are pretty much unchanged. Bonds are mixed. Crude oil is unchanged. Natural gas is down another 0.5%, another 0.25%. Silver is up 0.25%. Copper is unchanged, and the Aussie is up 0.25%. Take a look at the softs. Copper was down 2.75%. Nickel is down 1.25%. As well as palladium was down 0.75%. And the agriculture was down a little over 0.5%. So the commodities pretty much came down. They were a little mixed in the metal department, but it wasn't good. It was good for the majors, not everything else. Take a look at the charts. Is oil. And oil was up 0.25%. Hit the bottom of this resistance level. Still got my option strategy here. Is the oil and gas explorers, and they were up 1.5%. Kind of really bullish today across the board. Everything except for natural gas, which was down 3.5%. Kind of consolidating here. I built a position, and I was up yesterday, and then I'm down today, but we're at the bottom there. Is gold, and gold is up 0.25% after that recovery. Still trading this price box, kind of running into resistance here at 1663. See where it goes. There's a gold miners, and you can see they're kind of forming this formation here. I'm sure you've heard about. And my option closed worthless, so that was good. Now I'm pretty much long GDX, so I have to do something there. Silver, you can see that formation again. It's an inverse head and shoulders, kind of breaking out, consolidating, still on this trend, so they're bullish. Let me just get this trend line here, since that's done. And you can see this line and this one's parallel, so yeah, that's bullish. It could come down underneath this trend line, but unless it breaks this, it's still a bullish pattern. So that's bullish for silver. Is the energy sector, and they were up about 0.75%, kind of making this formation right to the middle of that channel, and we'll see where it goes from there. Is utilities, and they probably trading sideways as usual, and they were up 0.1%. Waiting for this to load. Is industrial sector. Well, here's utilities, and they're trading sideways still. Pretty much no movement, kind of consolidating that wedge. Industrial sector was up 0.75%, and it don't want to load. Move ahead. Let me pause this for a second. This is the industrial sector, and they were up 0.75%, kind of consolidating. This is a 4-hour chart, so Every bar is 4 hours. So you kind of see it kind of had a gap up this morning with all the excitement. His material sector, and they were up 0.1%, kind of trading, holding the support of 51.7. His healthcare, and healthcare was up almost 0.5%, and they appear to be trading in this wedge here. So we'll see if they can break that trend line. So here's a resistance trend line here. So I have no position in it. His real estate trading sideways for a while, and they were up by 0.5%. So it's just broke. In the afternoon session they came down a little bit. Here's my option strategy here. Is home builders, and they were up 0.75%, 0.84%. Kind of trading sideways, consolidating, staying above this trend line, so still remaining bullish. Is retail, and retail is the first time that they go up. You can kind of see I put this in because there's a gap, so the gap is filled already, and they're pretty much at the bottom of this mountain right here. So I put this channel just in case it wants to keep on trading between this channel. There's a couple of trades everywhere. Here's financial on that bullish flag, and they tested the all-time highs, which is coming back from December 15th. So it almost made it up there, and they were up 2%, so they're the ones that led the S&P up. Oh, that's retail. Financials is the S&P. They're almost back up to the all-time highs. So we'll see, and the all-time highs occurred on January 26th. Kind of had a little volatile in the afternoon session there, so that's a lot of price action. Kind of trickled up at the close. Here's the Dow back up above 20,000. Trading this channel now, so we'll see if it could stay up there. I should put a mark at 20,000. Here's the Nasdaq, and they pretty much the most bullish of them all. They're almost at the all-time highs. Actually, that's not an all-time high. This is the all-time high at 125.97. This is the Russell, and they led the way up 1.5%. Kind of broke above this wedge that it was trading at. Now, yeah, it's pretty choppy right at the end here. I mean, it trades in here until it finds out where to go, but it started getting choppy once it started coming down. So who knows why it broke out of this trend and then came back up. And it's the market, and not too many people understand that. Here's emerging markets, and they were up a little over 0.5%. Japan was up almost 0.5%. Not kind of working up to its all-time highs, which was 51.52. Underneath this trend line here, this is the wedge I was expecting it to trade at. It's probably going to come back, consolidate around 50.57. Is China, and it's working its way up after testing all these lows, and they were down 0.1%. So I could see this retest, at least the 36.25 and then the 35.78. So it's going to be tough, because once a correction comes, I mean, all this has got to correct eventually. I mean, look at India. See this ramp up from December 22nd till today. It's just from 1970 to 22. Anyways, I'm gonna leave you with that. I'm gonna leave you with just Russia at the end. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe. Peace.